So I wanted to get some cool time lapses on the trailer, and unfortunately they don't have a ladder that goes to the top. But I'm like, you know what? Let me check this thing out. I wonder if it's open, and it is. So I'm gonna show you guys, which not a lot of people are gonna do. Why is that like that? I'm gonna show you guys the inside of this bad Larry. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get this dead guy off here. All those dead fucking bugs. What the hell? Oh, it's a train. So yeah, I know a lot of people aren't gonna show you the insides of these trailers. And this is what they look like on the inside. They don't look that bad. Unfortunately, this. I just looked in here and it's like, why would they... Look at that. They didn't even latch it, and if they did, it fell out. But so this one has a slide out, so this whole thing pushes out. Yeah, because that's quality. I don't know. There's 2 bunk beds back there. I mean, for mini living, but guys, guess in the comments how expensive you think this is. So I'm assuming. I did assume correctly. I assumed that did that so that you could come over here and do this, put that down, flip that over, and look, now you have a bed. That's actually pretty massive. So that's how this thing works. Put that back there, flip that back up, put that in there, and unlike where I got it from, I'll put the latch on, and then look. Let's see if it'll do it again. There we go. Now we have a couch. So this whole thing will slide out. Obviously, it needs hooked up. I hate house wiring. I hate that, like, this is how house wiring is. But that's what they have in houses. They got an outlet, smoke detector. Ugh, I'm thin enough to fit through there. But you got a TV up here, little bathroom. Look at that. Shower. Actually got all that. I hate these toilets. I had to use one of them once. I'm not a fan, but this is the end goal. Is we're gonna sell the house when the kids are old enough and go buy a 5th wheel, live in that, and travel. That's gonna be our thing. But this is one. This isn't like hateful. Actually, I could probably come in here and take a nap. No, I'm just kidding. I don't sleep in the trailers. I don't have a need to. You got a window on the bottom, and you don't get shit on the top. But I kind of actually I like this. Like, this is secluded. You put something right here. 250-pound capacity. That means Josh couldn't lay on here. But yeah, I figured I'd give you guys the inside of these things. This is neat. So that goes up. This is the inside of one of these trailers that costs an arm and a leg. All right, so it stopped recording. This little fridge in here, full-size fridge with a mini freezer, microwave, light, fan. There's no power in here, obviously. This comes up for that. Slowly figuring stuff out for you guys, but I like how they put that in here. The only real thing that I like about this is this sleeping arrangement right here. Like, I like this. I would be perfectly comfortable with that. I wouldn't even take that bed over there. But it's kind of nice how compact they make all this stuff now. I gotta take... For those wondering how slim my waistline is, that's less than a fist and a half is what it takes to get me through there. But yeah, this is, I figured I'd go over and show you guys what the inside of these things look like. I was also going to say, the AC unit, I am looking into one of those for Bertha. So for when I'm traveling and whatnot, I want to get one, and I've seen other Hotshot guys do this, but I want to put it back here because there's a flat spot. I'll actually show you. I got in an argument with someone on TikTok, but I want to put it back here on this flat spot, but you have to cut the cross member that goes across the roof, and people on TikTok were like, oh my God, insurance is going to void your shit and this and that, and it's like, no, they're not. But yeah, like putting it here, someone said, oh, put it where the sunroof is, and unfortunately, if you do that, it's like, look at the hump there, like it just throws everything off. I'm going to be putting one right there. They're about $1,200. I want to try to find a black one after Bertha gets painted, but yeah, I figure you guys won't see it when I go drop it. I'm going to drop this thing tomorrow morning, but you know, this way you guys know what you're getting into when you look and buy these trailers. Personally, don't recommend buying a new camper. I will always recommend a used one. If you guys have any skill or anything like that, go buy a used one from like Copart that needs a roof or something, and do that. You'll save yourself a bunch of money, but that's where we're at. All right, guys, so we are in the middle of Kansas. I decided to pull over to get some fuel. I'm gonna let that refill. If you guys know, I've been trying to build this truck to where it's as reliable, if not more reliable than a new truck. And with that comes consequences, right? So I go through, I've made sure everything on this truck works. The only two problems with this: one, the horn doesn't work. It is what it is. I need to go get another horn. The number two thing is this has been an intermittent problem. I thought I fixed it the other day. Apparently didn't, but it's intermittent. So occasionally, if you come over here, that's not what I wanted. If I come over to let's zoom you guys in so the quality's a little nicer. If you look at the battery voltage, it'll jump occasionally from like 14.9 down to like 13.5 and like so on and so forth, like back and forth. Every now and again, the dash lights will dim, every light will dim, this one will dim, everything dims. This will stay constant, that'll stay constant, and the voltage gauge stays constant. So I think what I'm gonna do tomorrow is just clean off all the grounds and go from there, because like occasionally it works perfectly fine and then it's intermittent. It's more apparent at night. I don't notice it during the day. So we got that coming, and pretty much 2 months ago, the only issue I had with this truck was the rear main. We took care of that. Last month, it was let's throw AC at it and a passenger side intercooler boot. I set aside about $500 a month for maintenance on this truck. Some months it doesn't need it, some months it does. So last month we were right on budget. The month before that, I'd say we spent about $300, nothing crazy. All in all, it's still cheaper than a truck payment. It's more reliable, it's more dependable. I can fix it myself. There's always gonna be these little issues, but it's not hurting the drivability of the truck. Guys, I missed it. This cat was just chilling on the back of this dude's truck and then is walking off. No, zoom, zoom, zoom. There we go. Little kitty. All right, so trailer's been doing all right. I think we have, actually, I don't even remember how much we have. I think we have 11 hours to go. Obviously, we're not going to be dropping today. It's like 1 in the morning. I'm looking for that Pilot. I think it's over there because I got to get fuel, but the Venture's doing good. Like I said, guys, you can pull this thing with your boat, your bicycle. You can light a campfire around it. You can camp with it, whatever. This fucking little thing here, but I don't know. I'm gonna start doing a good pre-trip over this thing, throw some gloves on, lay on the ground. I want to check the drive shaft, the front drive shaft, the U-joints. I want to go through this thing and check everything. Things been steering all right. I also, at some point, I want to get rid of that chime because I want to be able to leave my lights on. I hate that sound. I mean, it's not bad. It's nowhere near as bad as the Fords, but I'm also gonna start checking grounds and shit. So I'm gonna pop the hood and go over everything. Drive shaft was the main concern. I haven't checked it in a while. I'd like to, just make sure all the bolts are tight. I don't see any leaks under there, so that tells me that it's probably pretty tight. Usually if the drive shaft comes loose, you do get a little bit of a warning with a leak at the transfer case, but I feel like everything's all right. 6 years ago, I threw a drive shaft. The bolts came loose on the carrier bearing, and I drove from Pennsylvania down to Florida, and within like the last 100 miles of dropping that trailer, just launched a drive shaft. So the OGs will remember, because this exhaust was from that truck. All right, so I went under, everything under there is tight. There's no issues there, but I'm pretty sure But this right here, even though that's technically tight, pretty sure that's what's causing our fluctuation. So let's try to throw something on there that'll make that actually 100% tight, because like the bolt itself, the nut and bolt, like they're physically tight, but it's just not creating a good contact point. So let's get that off of there and try to redo it here and see what happens. Alright, so I think it's about a pour. So I kind of just slapped it on there, and it's not moving now. And I mean, it's tight. Like, I gotta really crank on it. So we'll see if it keeps fluctuating. Kind of hope it doesn't. Oh, there that goes. Alright, I'm pretty sure that's probably what ended up causing it. Like I was saying earlier with the gloves, when you pull these things off, if they're not super worn, I pull them off inside out, pull them off inside out, and then later on, once I reuse them. I reuse them as many times as I possibly can. Nothing wrong with that. Save yourself some money, especially when you can only get them at certain places, because like I get these specifically from Fisher's and I like that specific pair, and yeah, I kind of don't have access to them right now, so I only have so many left. All right, I got that fixed right in time. Also, found out that my back window's leaking right up there. You can see it on the inside. So that'll just be one of those things that we have to target in the near future. Not worried about it in the slightest. I found out because my towel was wet, and I'm like, oh, okay. So makes sense, and the rain's literally coming from that way anyway, but I was in the building, I heard it coming down, and I'm like, well, fuck. Waited for my shot and ran. All right, we're in Kansas. It is a beautiful day, but check this shit out. I was sleeping, and my head was this way, and this semi moved that was here, so it woke me up. But look at this window. You guys see that? I don't know if it shows. I need to get this whole window pulled out and redone. But I was wondering why the truck was so loud on the inside. I didn't even realize, like, this whole back window is just, it's like I'm driving with the window open the entire time. So that's pretty neat. I'll get it fixed here probably when I get back home, but that's just something I'm gonna have to pay attention to. And we're probably gonna have, well, we're definitely gonna have to remove the headache rack, but that's gonna quiet the truck down a shitload, but whatever. Truck's been running awesome. We got hit with a severe thunderstorm last night. I did realize that, so I tried sleeping that way last night, had my head, or not last night, but the night before, and got the absolute worst sleep of my life because of this thing. So I slept on this side tonight, and this thing doesn't affect you when you're sleeping on this side. So just got to keep that in mind. Keep the legs that way, and you can, yeah, I don't have a problem with it. So other than that, here's the load. She's doing good. Alternator was not giving me problems after I fixed that wire last night. I think that's what it was. This piece of shit, but they said no holiday drops, so I got to drop it tonight, or well, tomorrow, I mean. So we're gonna do that. All right, guys, we got good news. Look at the alternator gauge. It's working. It's normal for it to fluctuate a quarter of a volt. That's just how it's gonna be. It's never gonna be a steady, perfect, stay exactly where it's at. The gauge will say it's perfect, but the ECU knows. So it's been jumping between 14.4 and 14.7, so we are perfect. Turns out it was just that connection at the battery. I had to put another connection behind it, and it's been solid. All right, so I hate to say it. Obviously, you guys knew about that cross member on the bed. This bed shot, but this cross member now is finally taking its toll. I'm at the point where I think I'm just gonna scrap the dually bed swap for a while and just go with a single wheel. I know I had a customer I was making a deal with on a dually bed, but he's got a tailgate I want. So I think what we're gonna do, since his bed has a little bit of damage, which is why he's putting a flatbed on it, I think I'm just gonna keep the tailgate, and we're gonna find a black single wheel bed and just replace this thing, because I'm at the point where, like, the welder itself, like, you can see that the whole welder is shaking up and down. Now everything's fine, like, it's not like anything's gonna happen, because I mean, it physically couldn't. Like, this bed can't go anywhere because it is so reinforced that even if I cut those cross members out, it would obviously put a lot of pressure there. But on top of that, this is here. So this can only go down as far as this can go. And obviously the whole bed's not just gonna rot and go away, but this bed is shot from being a northern truck. It is what it is. So it's definitely gonna be time to just do away with this bed. I'm gonna start looking for when I go home. Oh, damn. What the hell? A bug? Yeah. Must have hit a wheel, chopped him in half. But yeah, I'm gonna start looking for a black bed, and we're gonna replace this bed. Not gonna do the whole painting thing, I'll just do a black one, and then I'll probably just start slapping coats of paint on these because we need doors too. This whole truck's getting basically a new body, and then I'm just gonna put rockers on it. I've had the cruise control on this whole time. I think I've driven like 5 hours today. And look at this, we're in Oklahoma now and it's beautiful out here. So I just decided to stop for a minute, take a quick 20-minute power nap, and go from there. It's crazy to me. I've had a couple people point this out. These trailers have no battery for the breakaway. So it's kind of neat how they can just legally do that, but then also put the breakaway so far back. It's like if this thing fell off, it's not like the breakaway would do anything. I've never lost one before. I hope to never lose one, but I did lose a pintle once. It came off, but it was fine. We were able to fix the situation and get everything taken care of. So that was kind of a shit show, but other than that, dude, we are just mashing bugs. Look at that. That's terrible. Dude, look at the fucking wheels. Dude, we are just fucking murdering shit out here. I was gonna clean the truck, but like, wow. Jeez. Yeah. This is one thing it sucks about having a work truck, is that you just get fucking bugs caked everywhere. I've had quite a few of them hit the windows, and they just stick to everything. They hit the fronts. I don't think they land in the backs. Yeah, let's see this bed here. This side's not as bad. That cross member's intact, but that one on the other side is definitely bad. All right, so I'm gonna stop the video here real quick. I'm kind of picking on Josh a little bit, right? So you guys remember how I used to be, where it's like I always ran the hot tune on my black truck. Back in the day when I used to run Hotshot back in like 2018, I always ran the hot tune, and I gotta say, it's so nice having a truck that has AC, cruise control, just goes down the road with no problems and has no EGT problems, right? I feel like I built this truck and I picked the parts correctly. The cold air intake, probably not necessary as stock intake, it's just for the noise, but the 5-inch exhaust, 50 over injectors, and 373 gearing with 33-inch tires. This thing tows awesome. I'm super happy with it. I don't know if I will upgrade the turbo or not, but I was making fun of Josh because he has a truck, 5x14 injectors, which are a decent size, no fuel plate, modified pump, tuned AFC housing, a bunch of pre-boost, rack plug, upgraded lift pump that is made for higher CC of fuel. And then he's got a bigger turbo, the Aggressor 62 from Power Driven Diesel, and a Steed Speed exhaust manifold coupled behind a 6-speed manual. And, you know, I'm willing to bet at 60 pounds of boost, his truck would probably touch 550 wheel horsepower, just my guess. But off of the numbers that Power Driven Diesel said, at like 50 pounds of boost, I think they said it was like a 500 plus horsepower turbo or setup. And Josh has more fuel on top of that. But the EGTs are just, you turn the AC on. Like, he told me he's going down the road with his heater on just to keep the EGTs down. And it's like, I'm so glad I don't have to do that. Like, I feel like I did a really good job on this truck. And I'm happy with it. I mean, it's got its problems here and there, but it doesn't have any drivability problems. So it's like, it's comfortable. I'm sitting here just driving straight down the road. This thing steers way better with a trailer on it than it does empty, but that's a typical Dodge for you. But like, I haven't touched the wheel in a while and we're going straight down the road. I will say Bertha does not feel this trailer at all. We're doing 67, mind you, the speed limit here is 60, but it was 65 earlier. So we were doing about 65 to 67 earlier with the cruise control on. But here's the slide out, and then you get the window here, sorry about the wind. And then we have the bedroom one here. And of course they lock all that shit, but yeah, so, and if you guys are wondering, this trailer only weighs, it looks like GVWR is 5,800 pounds, so I'd say this thing probably weighs about 4,000 pounds, if that. It's really light. Don't recommend it on a smaller, or like a smaller truck, but with a diesel, this thing, it pulls it. It does not give a shit that it's back there. I actually passed a 6.4 Hemi earlier. The guy was like doing 3 miles an hour under the speed limit in a newer Hemi, and just was hitting his brakes and everything like that. So I went around him, and it's like this thing went from like 55 to 70 in like that. So Bertha's been doing awesome. I do think at this point this truck deserves a new body because of how reliable Bertha's been. Not sure if we're going to replace the fenders in the hood or we're just going to paint them, but the doors definitely need replaced. The rockers need done. The bed needs done. The bed is going to be the next step though. I had someone say something about the doors. I had a YouTube comment on it. Hey, I got 4 doors for sale, and I never got a message. So if you see this video, I want those doors. So feel free to send me a message, steve@cpstevemiller.com. And then this bumper, definitely going to clean this thing up and get rid of it. We're going to be moving this thing somewhere else, and I'm going to go through this, and we're definitely going to put this back on the bumper because I like having that for the block heater. But hope you guys enjoyed. I'm probably going to end it here because this video is getting pretty long, but I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Later.